Hey everyone, welcome to the Sitch show. Oh my God, what a crazy start of the year. Honestly, it's 26 days in and the world went pretty much bananas on January 6th, as you know. So welcome again with myself, Matthew Stapley and Ashley Mathieu. We'll be looking at current events from a perspective of psychics, crazy other people like myself. And hey guys, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Bro.
It's been going wild. Well, actually, for people that weren't there, we're doing this today at 2 because our schedules are a bit tight for everyone. And we were one man down, as Ashley mentioned it. I had people DM me and like, there's a man down? There's a man. I said, what? I didn't even see the video when you made it, Ashley. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, last week what happened, everyone, is on Saturday, most of us, actually all three of us had massive headaches, right?
Yeah, it was
like migraines.
Really
exercising back. But the energy was just crazy out there.
It was.
And
it
now
was insane.
it still is, but we're coping a bit better, right? So welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
It's a real fun time in history to be a medium. Real fun.
I'm telling you, the predictions for this year are going to be pretty. I thought last year was crazy. And then we ended up and we thought, oh, let's get away with 2020. And now, yeah, we're just going back to 2021. And we just started, again, the crazy, crazy month is happening. We got the lockdown. We got Capitol Hill. People just decided to take things into their own hands out of somebody's suggestion. We got COVID. We're on the lockdown here in Ottawa. Ottawa, Quebec. No, wait a minute. Sorry, Ontario and Quebec. I just read recently Italy is close to they're on the third wave as they're afraid of getting resurgence. Yeah, but their numbers are pretty insane. They're like at 15,000 people a day. We're at like 3,000. So and of course, people like myself, homeschooling. Of all the things, I think, to me, this is the most challenging still. But you know what? I got to figure it out. Since I studied for adult education, I created Storm's own agenda. So I figured, you know what? Might as well start it early.
Did you say that you used a computer and you made something on it?
That's correct.
Like, by yourself?
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
For those of you that know the inner joke,
That's impressive.
I pretty much suck on social media, which is funny because I helped start one of the biggest companies here of social media, but they asked me to be partner when I helped them start it up, and I thought, no, I don't want. It's too complicated. There's too many things.
I know Facebook posts are very technical.
No, they just changed it with Facebook Business Suite, and I'm like, where's my page?
So, Alain, let me
for today, right?
Let me just ask one question because it's burning in my head.
Okay, here it comes.
When you go to buy a computer, do you ask them for a pull start or a electric switch start computer? Because I feel like a windmill is somewhere in the past for you, and electricity and technology and all of that. So I'm just curious, like.
Okay, Matt, be honest. You want to know? This is the month I turned 50. Is that what you're referring to?
I still can't believe you're over 45.
Yeah, no, you do not. You don't look. You do
I
not.
can't even believe you're over 45.
50 at the end of the month. Isn't that fun?
That doesn't make sense.
You don't look it.
There was that.
What
like,
do you do?
Do you little pause for like a second among both of you?
Eat stem cells for breakfast? Like, what the hell is going on?
I drink oil of Olay.
Yeah, I believe it. I first I thought it was now it's a miracle worker, clearly.
Yeah, I
so
thought you were
welcome,
like
everyone. Welcome to the show. For those of you that have seen Capitol Hill, we're going to keep it light. We're going to talk a little bit later about manifestation and why this is happening in the world now. We've seen a huge attack on the word democracy. Of course, there's some countries that were saying, you know what, it's time for you to stop being hypocrite, and you're doing it to other countries. But I think it's the first time we actually see a coup since, the 1800s, I think, when they actually I heard they burnt the White House. So
That
we're
was
Canadians.
That
For
was
those of you.
Canadians burnt the White House down.
No. I'm Canadian, so I can know so much, right? I want to make sure everybody understood. I did not say Canada burned the White House.
No, but we actually did.
We did,
In the
though.
War of
We did?
1812. We did. We burnt the White House down. Yeah, we did.
Are you
About
teaching?
partying.
Are you
How
teaching
do we-
storm
what do you mean
history
we burned the
lessons
house
by
down?
chance?
A Canadian started it. Is that what I understood?
We like went to Washington in 1812 and we were like, wow, that's in the way. And then we set it on fire. Like, that's what happened. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, this time it wasn't us. So
No.
let's put it that way.
Thankfully not.
Although I did hear some guy from Montreal started, things in terms of extremists and talking about the fake news and everything. So just so we respect everybody, because there are probably some Republicans and Democrats on the list here. We're not going to focus on, getting into the whole drama of it. And unfortunately, to be honest with you, I think it was one of the worst things I've seen since I had to predict September 11th, the next attacks after the first plane hit the building. I actually had a tear when I saw one of the videos. One of the guards was actually inside the doors, and there are huge mobs on both sides just pushing the guards and the ones, and the guy was screaming, and I thought, oh my God. And so I thought that was one of the things that's going to stay in my head for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, of course, some people died. But what are some of people's thoughts on the event itself without giving any, blame or attacking or anything like that?
Goddamn shit show. That's what it is.
Well, we had predicted that he wouldn't. I think I said he's not going to make it easy. Big hot mess. That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
What was your insights, Ashley, before that? I think you had said something in terms of.
I can't remember. I don't remember half the shit that I say. But I did. I said it was going to be a goddamn nightmare coming up to the 20th of January. And I mean, what happened on Capitol Hill was a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah.
So I think I was spot on with that
To say the
one.
least.
You were
Yeah.
so right.
I don't think we predicted it that bad.
We all talked about this in like November.
Correct.
Because of everything that was happening. And we all said, like, all of our faces could have told the story because we're all like, ugh. Like, we're all like, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't know what was going to happen necessarily specifically, but we all said, like, it's not going to be good.
Well, unfortunately, it's probably not over, right? I just read that they are bringing in 20,000 people from the National Guard. And actually, you can see photos. Some of them are sleeping in the hallways right now of Capitol Hill, just, to make sure to protect the people that are there, which, they're ordinary humans just like you and I, right? So whether they have the titles of whatever.
Hold on. Sally says, I feel the wave is over. Nope.
Which wave?
Yeah, I was just going to say, which wave?
If you're talking about the country in the States, it's far from over, in my opinion.
Well, the positive thing now is Twitter, Facebook, and Parlay, actually, which is another thing they were using. And there's another one like Instagram, but I don't know the name of it offhand. They were starting to use that now to coordinate it, more efforts, because one of the investigative journalists was saying
you might be talking about Signal. So Facebook, so Zuckerberg.
Telegram, is it? Could it be Telegram or tele something? It rhymes with Instagram or something.
Signal is an encrypted text messaging service that's pretty much taken over because Zuckerberg has taken on WhatsApp Messenger and now is collecting all user data. So everyone's going over to something called Signal, which is a completely encrypted text messaging service. So a lot of them could also be using, that platform because you can't hack it. It's encrypted.
Wow. Well, it just shows to prove, how. And I remember when we were mentioning who do you see as the next president, and I'd said, the next person's going to be more in terms of cooperation and working with other leaders, and Dominion, which I'm going to speak about in terms of leadership afterwards on our segment. I think what's important to see is that all this division, which has been sown for years now, has to bring people back to unity, right? To working with each other. I mean, we're on the same. I was going to say something bad, but we're on the same planet. I just thought of what she just said. We're on the same planet. So at one point, I think what COVID's shown us is that, one person can change the world. And that person didn't even do it on purpose. They just got a bug, and then they gave it, and somebody got it. And then look at how we are now. We're probably, close to 1.5 million people that have died from COVID, and still not over. Okay. No. And it reshaped the economy. I was watching a documentary on Wall Street Journal TV, and I was just dumbfounded and shocked, which I shouldn't be, because I should know that by now. So many world leaders just miscalculating COVID so badly, and they were all at Davos, and we're talking, and things are going to be okay. Don't worry, and we're expecting more growth in terms of business and all types of stuff, because it's been going on for years. They expect 2021 to even be bigger, and all of a sudden, boom, flights are gone, hospitals are cramming up, people are dying. How do you call it? Countries are shutting down, borders are shutting down, the economy is shutting down. Even now, some car manufacturers are having problems, because during the time that
no one's out going buying fucking cars now.
Well, the time that President Trump was there, the negotiations he made with China, we use chips, right? So all those chips now, with people buying more and more computers, China couldn't provide as much. So now the chips that are running some of the cars that people are driving, like Ford or all those, certain cars, they're out. They're going to be out pretty soon, because the inventory, like if Toyota doesn't have that much inventory, but other car manufacturers are going to run out of chips so far, because there's none to be made. There's a war now in the tech industry in which China decided, okay, protectionism, sure, we'll build everything in here and we'll keep it to ourselves. So people like Apple, who had the Intel chip now, are making their own chips, and Intels are doing other stuff at the same time, which makes it even harder for people to get access to what they need. And I think, like I keep saying, this is just a dress rehearsal. So if we don't get stuff right now, when things really get more, maybe, in terms of, imagine if Ebola was spreading like the coronavirus. I mean, by the time they get to the grocery store, there's probably nobody there.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, people have to get their fucking shit together. I'll just be blunt, of course. Like, shocker. Listen, like Ottawa, Ontario is a province. We're in a lockdown. We're in our third lockdown. And people are looking at the rules with the new lockdown, which are very shaky. And they're seeing that law enforcement has no authority to ask where you're going, pull you over, enter a dwelling, any of that stuff. They have zero authority to do anything. So people are reading this and now being like, good, I can do whatever the fuck I want. So they're going out about their merry way. They're going to Costco because they have nothing to do. They're going to Starbucks because apparently a Frappuccino is essential. So that is still open. People are out doing stuff. It's a drink. But people are still going to their friend's house. They're still having gatherings because they cannot enter a dwelling, aka your home, without a search warrant. So people are still doing these things, all on the basis of, well, if police can't enforce it, I'm going to just be selfish and do whatever I want. Yeah. At the end of the day, if we all want to get through this, we all need to fucking behave like adults and stop being like children with a substitute teacher. That's what we all need to do. And personally, I'm sick and tired of it because I have businesses just like many others who are shut down. Do I necessarily agree with certain industries being shut down? No, but it is what it is, and we're having to go through it. And I'm shut down because people can't get their shit together, and now I'm taking the brunt of it. Yeah. So the world needs to work together. People need to work together, make smart decisions, and we can move forward. If we don't, we are in this mess for God knows how long.
A long, long time. Like I would say a few years at minimum. Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right, Ashley, because this is a really good example of two things. One is deflection, right, of responsibilities. So people are, it's like there was a meme that went around of a lady at a Christmas shopping mall full of people saying, "Oh my God, how dare all these people come here?" Like it's a pandemic, but she was there herself shopping. So like
Yeah.
that's a really a good example of one aspect of it. I think the other part of it is that people are because of the way that our world is structured and the way that society is structured, people are exhausted. And when you're exhausted, you're more desperate. And when you're more desperate, you're more selfish and self-centered. So I think, this is also a problem at a very deep societal systemic level, that we're conditioned to kind of throw each other under the bus to get ahead. And so I think this is another manifestation of that. And I think that you are right. I think people are saying, well, they can't make me, so I'm not going to. But instead of saying, they can't make me, maybe I won't anyway, because maybe it's, better for everybody not to.
Maybe I'll be a responsible human.
Totally. You know what? Like, listen, we have like a lizard, right? A pet lizard. And so we have to feed him insects. And so we have a bug supplier who I'm quite certain is an anti-masker at this point, and like just walks up, no mask. Like I grabbed a mask, and they were like, "Oh, yeah."
I want to read this. I want to read this comment by Andrea Russo.
All right.
People have to stop being selfish and rely on toilet epidemiologists of the world doing research while taking a crap. That's fucking amazing, and not science. We need to listen to our public health officials. That's fantastic.
Right. I agree. Seriously, toilet epidemiology.
So good.
Somebody created a new branch of
just throw some lavender on it; it'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll just calm right down.
Yeah.
Well, what's important is what you're saying here, and you know what? Can we put this on? I'm going to give you something that I teach when I do coaching for businesses. It's called self-mastery versus self-destruction. Can we actually put that up?
Yeah.
If I send you the PDF.
Yeah, send it to me right now, and
it's going to. And people are, and again, I don't want to start bringing this into this is a Donald Trump thing, because people, attach too much importance to one person instead of, the enablers or the resonance, which is called domination. So how do I send it to you, Matt? Here, I'm going to
just send it in our group chat, and I will find a way to post it up.
So
what also doesn't help are all of the. What also doesn't help is all the conspiracy theories being thrown around about everything and anything. And so, I mean, the computers are smart. So is your phone. So is your watch. And when you start reading and taking on more of these conspiracy theories, your laptop will just be flooded with the algorithm, and it's just going to keep showing you similar content. So you're going to keep reading it, and then you're going to think certain things. This is not helping the case right now. Like, I know a handful of people that have had COVID and still have effects after having COVID. No, they didn't die. Granted, 99 point some mortality rate. It's fantastic. But what people need to start fucking paying attention to are what are the after effects of having COVID. I have a friend who has short-term memory issues and brain fog and can't remember how to do it. He's an engineer. And he is having to take early retirement soon because he can't do his job properly. My girlfriend, she has leg pain randomly all the time since she's had COVID, and same with her mother. Her son has an awful cough lingering from having COVID. Like, there's tons of blood clots. There are things that happen that you might not die from COVID, but there's other shit that happens. So yeah, you can look at the mortality rate all you fucking want, but at the end of the day, there's worse stuff happening to people than they want to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's true. And like the old saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you wish you were dead. Like, and no, it's a thing. I actually have a friend of ours that is in the neighborhood that has long COVID as well. And she's had it. She was one of, like, she got hit in the beginning of the first wave with COVID, and she's still, almost a year later suffering. I mean, it's just terrible. And what's scary is they don't really understand how it works. I think they're slowly starting to understand how this virus affects certain people. Now, I have my own thoughts, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I definitely, I would definitely, I think there's a lot a lot still to learn about it as a virus. It's a very different kind of virus, and the way that it seeps in, it's very.
It is called a novel coronavirus because it's fucking new.
It is, yeah. It's very new, and it doesn't work like other ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Matt, I uploaded the document. It's in Word. So
so you want me to find a way to make this happen? All right.
No, just show the image or something.
See what I can do. Give me a minute. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna use Elaine's technological. Wow. Okay.
I don't even know what's happening.
Do you
right
want
now.
it in a PDF? Maybe I can put it.
Can you put it in a PDF? Because, girl, I think our Word document systems do not get along, or my thought of you using technology has been right all along. Which
Matt,
I'm sure.
I understand you. I'm like you, my brother.
I did it in a PDF. I think that our versions of Word are different. Mine is probably very old, like very old. So
what this is really is, when I teach people, there's two different worlds. One is dominion, the other one is domination. And one is self-mastery, which starts with the word responsibility, your ability to respond. Whereas what we've seen so far is the world of domination, which is blame. It's not me. And, there's always an excuse, whether it's a lie or whether they believe it's the truth. And it's also a victim mentality instead of a co-creation mentality in which you co-created it. So when my clients are talking, usually I'll just listen to it and then I rephrase and ask them a question with what they just told me. So if they told me, this person did something to me, I said, well, how did you allow that person to do that? Okay. And so the idea is for you to recognize the power of responsibility and the power of cooperation. Dominion is about lying and manipulating and controlling, whereas dominion is creating something new, becoming more creative, cooperating, collaborating, doing it as a win-win. Okay. I've taken a lot of conflict resolution training over the years from different universities and different programs. And there's always this one exercise they have you do in which you have to, either find two oil companies that need to come to an agreement or a contract agreement where they both win-win. And at first you don't believe it. You're like, okay, what's the trick? Ooh. Perfect. If you look at here, people, you're going to love this one. You're going to recognize some people in there pretty fast. All right. So in here we have Tammy a while ago that said, you know what, blaming and shaming. So if we have here self-mastery, I'll start with what you've seen on Capitol Hill, which was just culminating over the years. Okay. It starts with first self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability for you to recognize that you have impact and others have impact on you. That means is if I say something and it hurts either Matthew's feelings or Ashley's feelings.
My soul.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Okay. I can see that whatever I say is going to have a response. So is it the response that I want? Yes or no? Then you move on to self-awareness can also be related to the environment. Some people have, when I have people take emotional IQ test, not IQ test, but emotional IQ test. Some people's self-awareness is very low, and some people's situational awareness, which means awareness of the environment, is also low. All right. So an awareness would be, okay, well, I'm buying this. It's full of cardboard. It's full of plastic, or should I get something that's biodegradable? Just asking that question or recognizing that question has to do with self-awareness. Then self-centeredness. Okay. So if you look on the left, self-mastery brings you self-worth. Self-worth, and people are not going to like this one, or maybe they will. They should. Self-worth is equal for everybody. Everybody has the same self-worth. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter if you're on the street. It doesn't matter if you went to university or you flunked college or you didn't go to primary school. Nobody cares. Nobody cares because it has to do with your divinity, your human dignity, which is universal, which cannot be taken away from you unless you let others take it away from you. And we've seen over the years that domination is always trying to do that. If you don't have self-worth, you become what's called self-centered. And then it goes on, self-important. And I'm pretty sure by now some people are starting to see the picture, capital L, of self-importance, self-serving, maybe doing certain things and making a lot of money at it, and then pretending it's for others. Then we have what we've seen last week, self-delusion, which goes into self-indulgence, which is always, it's never enough. It's never enough. I want more. They took it away from me. They stole it from us, blah, 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 which leads ultimately to what we've seen, self-destruction, pure action, pure ego, pure self-delusional psychopathic traits.
Conspiracy theories.
In order to start 2021 on a light touch, let's look at the left side of the brain on this side. It's not the left side of the brain, I mean left side of the page here. Self-worth leads to self-esteem. Self-esteem you have to work on. It's your ability to self-evaluate and how would you say? Calibrate to what your success here is. The problem with self-esteem is most people put it in terms of comparing themselves to others. Well, they have more than me. Well, they're smarter than me. Oh, well, I'm not deserving of your love. Or this friend of mine this morning, this guy telling her,
self-destruction is like on point these days.
Correct. Okay. So self-esteem, look at it in terms of how you co-create your own reality. This is what I want. I want to manifest a house. Okay. A girlfriend at one point, she goes for a house and she keeps telling me the credit is bad. I said, listen, just go and believe the universe just wants to give it to you, and you'll find somebody that'll help you, and then you'll get the house. And she got the house. No matter what the credit score, no matter what the obstacles were, the person says, you want it, it's yours. Even if the market was bad, still got it. Okay. So self-esteem, then self-love. Like self-worth, self-love is given. All right. The universe loves you. That sounds weird, but it's true. All right. God got us all that is. Whatever your God is, that's love. Okay. You can represent it whatever you want. The universe is there. It doesn't judge. I've never seen a plant have self-esteem issues. Why? Because it's not going to ask, does God love me today?
I don't know about that. I have one that is definitely having some deflation.
It looks pretty willowed.
Yeah. Working so good.
Self-confidence after that works from self-love, self-esteem, self-worth is your ability to handle reality, to cope. Okay. And then you have self-respect. All right. And then you have self-realization. That is all. It's beautiful.
But people don't want to realize shit. That's the problem.
Well, it first takes the self-awareness to recognize
Hear me out,
this
though.
is what I wanted. This is
Hear
not.
me out. Self-realization. Look at what's happening in society right now. People know there's a fucking problem, but people don't want to do anything about it.
Mhm.
They want to realize that there's a problem. So they just keep going about their business. They only care about themselves. I think that is our biggest problem right now is people are not self-aware. And you know what? They're not even really respecting themselves by continuing to make the actions that they're making right now.
So why don't we look at what's under that, like as a way of being, like what has? Did you say Oreos?
Yeah,
I love Oreos. Oh, God, they're good. Thanks. There goes my diet. Thanks, Ashley. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but I wonder, so underneath that process, right? Because this, I think, Alain, I think what you put together is a really, really, really solid, depiction of the way a shit show happens, really, personally and societally. I think. Wait, Alain, repeat after me. Shit show.
S-H. Shh.
Come on.
Wait, I'm teaching my son ABCDarian. So I have to take letters and put them together.
I'll teach him.
Is that what you're trying to do?
I want to teach your son some words.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Look, see? You have to take the words T I P S. There we go.
Great. If you could just do
I've
that.
done that all day, so I'm not gonna. If you don't mind, I'm not gonna do your.
All right, fine. I know you're
Rude.
terrified to swear in public. All right. So yeah, but like if we look at what's under that, I think that you created a really good depiction of how the problem happens, personally and societally. And I think I'm wondering what we are missing, and I'd love to hear from people in the chat on this. What we are missing as society. What are the pieces that have created this broken track to shit showville? Rather than like the self-actualization, self-realization, self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, truly, when you respect yourself and you love yourself and you have, solid confidence and self-esteem and you're actualized and realized and, you eat like soy and all of that. Kidding. Kidding. Kale is what I meant to say. And you've done all of that. Then you're naturally going to encourage the world around you to do the same thing. You're not going to live from a selfish or self-centered space, right? When you've done this work on yourself, you no longer perpetuate the crap in the world anymore. And so what do you guys think is the missing links, to this process as a nurturing, right, that we all have as children or don't, depending on your situation? What is it that we have created in society as a pathology that has not allowed us to go through this beautiful pyramid of growth? I would love to know what you guys think. I have my own ideas, but I want to know what the chat thinks.
Ooh. It's very
I read
deep.
something a minute ago from Kim, but now this thing keeps going up. Let's see, where is it?
Anita,
here, she said, if everyone was equal, why would you try harder to be better? Think about it in terms of playing tennis. I remember when I started coaching when I was 23, my friend Richard, or my colleague actually, Richard, brought something I found really cool and always stick with me. He says, most people think when you're playing tennis, you have to beat the other guy. He says, what if you start, he said, he used to coach people on thinking, this person is not there to beat you. This person is there to help you become better at your sport. And he would change the way they would think, and he would help people get better golfing scores and play tennis much more rapidly and score more. So in that sensing, yes, you want to compare yourself, but you want to tell yourself, wow, this person's able to do that. I'm able to do that also. Okay, it's like in the Bible when people look at Jesus creating miracles and he tells them, listen, yo, man, you're going to be able to do the same thing later. Well, you didn't say it like that. I'm doing it in terms of ebonics for fun, but you get the idea. He's telling people you'll be able to do better and more, which means when you're looking at somebody that's either your hero or mentor, or as an example, this morning, I looked at the list of Bill Gates books. I really like Bill Gates in terms of philanthropist. I know he's the richest man in the world, or was, whatever. But he always has really, really good books on very different topics. And I view him as a good role model for all the good that he's been doing in terms of philanthropy with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. All right. I'm not telling myself, wow, this guy's so smart. He has so much money. I'll never be like him. I'm like, wow, okay, what does this person read to get an idea that, 5 years ago, he said the corona, we're not ready for an outbreak. We're not ready for a pandemic. And instead of doing something about it, people are like, oh, how come this is happening right now? So if you're looking at it in that sensing, that's perfectly good. All right. But if you're telling yourself, I'm not smart enough, that's self-esteem. Why? Because it's an instrument. You're devaluating yourself, which comes to self-worth. But if your self-worth if your worth is the same as everybody else, okay, then you'll start thinking, okay, well, if I'm as, maybe in terms of smart, you're not, it doesn't really matter. Everybody's different. Okay. There was a woman who wrote a book. I forgot.
This is a good one. Well, that Matt just put up. I feel some shove off experiences and really cannot walk in others' shoes. It starts with caring for others.
Yeah.
There's another one. Vanita has a good one here too. We keep giving our power away to external things. We don't trust ourselves enough. That's huge.
True.
And a lot of people right now are putting everything pretty much all their power and everything into
Yeah.
social media and external platforms.
It's true, but
Right.
underneath all of that, like I think that all of the people who are commenting, I think, are absolutely right. But I want to look at like, the basis of something, and I actually have an exercise that people want to find out. Eventually, when you are trying to do deduction like this to figure out what's underneath something, and then you go underneath that, and you go underneath that to find the most indivisible variable, you want to basically bring it to a point where it can no longer be broken down, right? So, for example, somebody said entitlement. Well, entitlement is made up of a lot of things. So you have to go through all of those things to find the root. And an easy way to do this, to figure out things within yourself, is, ask yourself, for just as an example, like, what is your favorite meal to eat? And then, okay, what is your favorite ingredient within that meal? What makes it special? And then you keep asking yourself why, until you get to a part where you cannot answer it. And that is the most quintessential, indivisible variable of what your favorite meal is. And so I think when we're looking at, the underlying process that creates a sick society, we can do the same thing. What are the variables that bring us to this place? What is the one quintessential, indivisible, non-breakdownable component that we're missing? And I think that Sky nailed it. And I also think that Aline Facette nailed it and said empathy, respect, and gratitude are missing. And I think what I'm seeing with all of this stuff, the one thing that cannot be broken down further is acceptance, right? Of ourselves, of each other, of the world. And, even going into what one of you have said, I lost it now, but it was about how we throw everything away. Like relationships has become a disposable society. Michelle said that. I think that this is exactly right. But if there was acceptance in society, things wouldn't be that way, because there would be an element of embracing people for who they are or not. And not is okay. You don't have to accept people into your life if they don't jive with you. That's okay. But accepting them as they are and not trying to change them is sort of a good thing. And so even if you look at all of the scary, racist, bigot people, which are not us, it's others, obviously. Obviously. But, like if you look at all of that, there's a lack of acceptance in that. And so what part of them was not accepted that made them so violently, like abusive towards people that they don't even know? I think these are important things. So I think, maybe at least in part, acceptance and love. That's another thing that's
love, I would say, is the bottom. And then a recognition of that love first. What I'll do every night with my own child, Storm, is I'll say, what are you grateful for? And at first he would tell me things that we've done. And then I'd say, well, we have food, we have a house, we have warmth, we have, we're clothed, we're healthy, our friends are healthy, our friends came over before the lockdown. But I think starts by recognizing the love, recognizing things that are accepting. If you look at the side of the self-destruction, in terms of domination, it's about denial, right? It's not about acceptance. Acceptance will be in the world of dominion, where I recognize it, accept it, and then I change. Those are the very basic principle of any change. You recognize, you accept, and you change. Okay, but before that, you have to get to that point of acceptance. And usually you have to grieve. There's all those processes. But at the same time, from that point on, from the love, recognizing love. I mean, if you look at all the dictators in the world, they're all looking for one thing: love. Whether it be success. Whether success is, having all those cars or those homes or that money, and then they're looking for love, but they're looking for acceptance at the same time as you're mentioning. Whereas if you have it to start with, you're not as much wanting to go get it from others.
Very much so. And, like if you think about too, like a lot of the problems in the world right now are lack of acceptance problems, right? Like totally, the types of fighting and the us versus them and all of that. I mean, it's just all, and people often confuse accepting something for what it is with not being able to grow, right? Because they also think that if they allow things they're uncomfortable with, if they accept the things they're uncomfortable with, then that's, the way that it's going to be forever. And I think it's very important to say that everybody brings something beautiful to the world, to the table. Not one person on this planet is totally incapable of being totally a shit show human being. Everybody has something that they can offer, but I think, somebody had also, Vanita said, it starts with self-acceptance. And I think that is totally true. It begins there. You have to begin it with yourself, but also you also have to be in an environment where it's taught to you, because I feel like in the world that we live in, nobody is going to accept themselves without being shown that it's possible to do so. So maybe all of us, and maybe this is even the good shit challenge for this week, is try to teach acceptance somehow in your life. You don't have to like run into like a room of racists to do it, but try to just try to
I'm here.
Yeah, and you can
I'm okay.
You can accept a person without accepting their actions and belief systems, and you don't have to accept their illness, for example, but you can.
And that's very powerful when you mentioned that little difference here, and that people need to recognize, and we often do that. You're a bad child, you're a bad this, or you did something bad, and when you're a kid, instead of looking at it and teaching our children and everybody really is that there's a difference between identity and behavior.
Yes, totally. They're separate.
And what happens is that we label people. He's a bad person, or she's a, or he's a,
I think you've say the word.
Say it out loud. Okay, you're healed. The idea here is when you look at it in terms of behavior, it reminds you of that person's dignity, that person's here, in the grand play of things. Deepak Chopra mentioned, I believe on Oprah one time, that we're humans living a human experience, and that we're all dressed differently. And I know you like that one.
Correct.
I know you're gonna love that one. But in any case, everybody's dressed differently, and when you do, everybody watches movies, and in the movies you have this bad person. Like, I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones or any movies. There's always an antagonist or protagonist, and they really want you to make you hate that character, and that's the character's job, or else there's no movie, right? For that part. So everybody has their own play, and it's important to remember that some plays are not as good. But if you look at what happened on Capitol Hill, it's just going to bring more and more in terms of recognizing that, yes, democracy won, but it's also in terms of protecting it.
And we can accept people as human beings. We don't have to accept their harmful behavior, right? That's exactly law. Okay. Like, you don't, just because you accept somebody as a soul on earth does not mean you have to accept them being abusive. Like, there's a good reason that we have laws, really. But I mean, under all of that pain, or under all of those actions of abuse and violence and all that, there's pain. I mean, that's what, like, nobody is born an asshole. Nobody is born with a gun in their hand. Nobody is born hateful. Like, these are conditioned
learned behavior.
Yes, exactly. And so underneath all of that is that lack of acceptance of the self, and that translates to lack of acceptance of others and power and control and all of that crap. Because at the end of the day, the quest for power is really only there because acceptance wasn't there, right? So you do not feel accepted, therefore you don't feel powerful.
Correct. And most often what happens is that you don't recognize what true power is, okay? Because we're always fed the same thing.
Totally. True power is not what you can do. It's not the ability to make change. It's the ability of the self. I mean, true power is not an outward thing. It's an inward thing. It is a good example of
your
true
ability
power.
to act, right? So there's a famous saying, it's not what you have, it's what you can give. That's what true wealth is.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, there's a difference between influence and power. Like, really, and they're two sides of the same coin. If somebody's truly powerful, they will not be as easily influenced. If somebody's highly influential, they will be able to hold things over the heads of the masses, right? But they're two different things. I mean, look, in less than a week, and somebody down south is going to lose their influence. It's not, influence does not equate power on any level, not truly. Because true power cannot be taken away. True influence can be. And, I think this is an important distinction between these things. A good example of true power is the ability to not act on something, to maintain your balance amidst a shitstorm. That is power, in my opinion. Yeah.
So I want to switch gears a little bit. Back in, I think it was November, I remember it came to my head like 10 minutes ago. We were talking about travel, and I remember I came out and said December there's going to be information paperwork coming out, and then there'll be more changes in January for travel. Now, we got it right, but I think we screwed up too, because it ended up making it worse for travel. There was changes with the travel; it just made it worse. And I know
it's worse for the people traveling, but it's better for the people inside those countries.
No. But I mean, like, there have been people that have been out of Canada since, like, say October, and then they're trying to get back, and they're pretty much stranded in whatever country they're in because they can't find a place to do COVID testing.
Correct.
So they're stuck and they can't come back. So that's where it's like, it's kind of worse. But anyway, so there's some questions that are way up there now about what's our take on COVID moving forward, because it's just turned into another shit show. So, yeah.
Well, I think it has to be decisive, and I think the lockdowns should have been done, like I mentioned before, in October. But then again, there's always politics and economy and stuff like that. But if you look at countries that have, tightened the noose so hard, their numbers have gone drastically down. But then again, that makes it sort of disappear. I think a lot of people are waiting for the vaccine, which is good. But at the same time, I believe that our behaviors and the way we interact in the future will not only affect this pandemic, but future outbreaks that are eventually going to come again.
I think they want to know, when are we going to see some light here in this shitstorm of a tunnel that we're navigating?
I still
believe
said
the numbers would go down by. Sorry, Matthew.
What?
Sorry.
I still believe springtime. I still believe that's when we're going to see a turnover of good events. Yeah.
April.
I think we had mentioned before February would be better, so spring is close.
Yeah,
but
I think I was so wrong about my COVID prediction.
Well, depends what you mentioned by that. The numbers will go down because of the lockdowns. If there's no lockdown, then
what I saw was that in December there would be a big second, like a really big wave. Then it would drop off, and then in the springtime there would be a small other wave, and then it would be gone, like pretty much gone. And then it would just show up like in like very specific, not specific, but
certain geography.
Yeah, like it would show up here and there, kind of like other infections that are around. Like that was my vibe on it. But I think my timing might have been off on it. I still see that as the process. I just think maybe I'm seeing, I'm seeing it happening shorter than it actually will. Because my human self can't imagine by spring it gets better. But what I see psychically is that when this wave passes, it'll get better for a while. Another smaller wave, and then it's done. You know what I think next Oracle deck I'm just going to make every card that says it's probably getting worse. It's probably getting worse. It's probably getting worse. And then like one card that says breathe, bitch, breathe. I think that will be my next Oracle deck. Things are getting worse. Yeah. I'll only use it for world readings.
Let's see.
All right, so are we going to go into question time?
Yeah.
We have. Okay. Yeah, we went a bit overboard on this one. Let's start with some questions here. There's not that much.
Disclaimer.
Ashley, give your disclaimer.
Okay, the disclaimer. If you've never been here before, welcome. But that also means if you have a question, a psychic question where you want to ask Matt or Alain for something, please do not write anything for me. I will probably give you some weird ass answer. So if you want a question answered, if you are chosen, please write a specific question instead of anything for me. Thank you.
I feel like next time, while we're waiting for questions to roll in, I really think next time, I think that you should do like the flight attendant motions to your
That would be awesome.
Yeah. You got that's your challenge, Ashley. Come up with some kind of like flight
Love it.
attendant like
Perfect.
motions for that.
I will. Here we go. Now they're pumping in. Trying to see names I haven't seen before.
Here, Karen Chapman. That seems to be a general question because the other ones are general so far. Do you think the vaccine will help end this? I would say yes, in terms of giving people hope so the economy goes back up, and also in terms of actually helping some. I don't think the vaccine may help everyone, but I would think overall, it is a game changer, yes. But I still believe that not spreading it and watching what we're doing, I think it'll be behavioral that, again, will be seen in the future as something that did help more. Because there's so many different vaccines now, and data's coming out showing that some vaccines are 50% effective instead of saying like they were higher than that. I'm thinking of the Chinese vaccine, which that wasn't too hard to predict. But in terms of behavior, I think for now is what we still need to look at, and not only for this one, but the next pandemic, which will be there probably, I don't know, 6-7 years from now.
Boom, boom, boom.
I have one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Which one?
June, Staffy. June.
Ooh. Do we get a description?
If LA wants to do it, I just like when I read the question.
The name went away. I don't even know who that was. I thought June was her name. So by the time,
there you go.
Oh, here, Stephanie. Where's my calendar? Just a second. Stephanie Bruce. What's the question? Do you see love in my near future? Oh, like a relationship. Okay, just a second. I would go with Matthew, more June. 3 months, but I see more, I see a relationship more in June, yeah. 3 months was the first thing I got at first, but it looks more solid in June. And I think most of the things that we're going to see in the future also, if you're going to travel, do any plans or anything and meet more people, I would wait till June probably. I know I'm looking at creating events, and I'm not planning anything before June or even a bit later, actually. Next.
Here's one. You can start, LA.
Sorry, I was on another one here. Oh, okay, that needs a calendar. Just a second. I'm not getting that for any time soon, really.
So what I get is actually I'm seeing more free will. I feel like in March and after, Aileen, I feel like there will be opportunities if you are up to acting on them. But I also get a tiredness. So I don't know if you've been physically like exhausted or ill or something, but I can feel this just sort of like zonked energy. And I do feel like this year you could go back to work if you choose it, but I'm being shown you will have to initiate the process. So it is up to you. But after March, it looks brighter that way. And then at the beginning of summer, it looks bright. And then throughout 2022, that's where I really see that strongly for you. So, I also think it's important to, take the chill time while you can. Because you did feel tired when I went into your field. And to me, that's like maybe the universe is allowing you to recover a little bit as well.
I was looking this year, so Matt, you did good to look further down.
All right, let's see.
I had one here. I missed it. Oh, jeez.
I think honestly, I'm so tired today. I do not think I would give good mediumship, like in terms of spirit communication. But LA, if you want to do those ones, you totally can.
Which one?
like spirit communication, mediumship.
Oh, sure.
I'm like,
Ash, did you find one?
For what? Questions? You guys are sending them. Ooh, what's this one? Celeste. Is the USA Biden proposed minimum wage of $15 an hour going to
You do that one. By that time, Michelle Hatt would love to know if my puppies are around me. I miss them more than my people at times. Are there 3 puppies? I'm not used to doing animal readings, but I've done a couple of them. Are there 3? I just see 3 around you, but I'm not. I think they're your puppies. I'm not sure if. Let's see here. I lost. This thing keeps scrolling, man. Sorry about that. Okay, perfect. So I guess that would answer your question. Yes, they are around you. So yes, thank you. And my guide's saying they really care for you. Like I said, I'm not used to doing that, but that's the first impression that I got while I was looking. The answer just came to me that they're around you. So hopefully that makes you feel better and enables you to, yes, thank you. Yes, to remember the love, as they say. Next, sorry.
So Gabrielle says, so before Christmas, I found out I was expecting. You guys read for me also. I got my blood work results. It says I'm not pregnant. My doctor said I either had a false positive or miscarriage, even though I had no symptoms. Just wondering what your guys' thoughts what happened. Get pregnant soon. I do see pregnancy for you, Gabrielle. It feels imminent. So to me, that's within a few months. I'm very drawn to February with this. And I do feel, I much more feel a miscarriage vibe than a false positive vibe. I do. And I feel though that going forward, I think it's going to be better. I do. The second you find out that you are pregnant next time, I feel like you need to be in to the doctors right away, not because of a problem, just because I feel like it will put you at ease as well. And then that way, if there are any minor imbalances, they'll be able to help you. But I feel like you will. I feel like it's not far from now.
Elaine, there's one.
I get a loss.
Elaine, hold on. Oh wait, never mind. Do your thing.
In terms of in terms of what Matthew say, I see a loss. It's not positive. False positive. I see a loss. Sorry, Ashley.
I have one for you. This one's gonna be interesting. Tori Wells Vader, who was with my daughter when she was almost killed in a car accident last summer.
I read it. That's the one I was looking for a while ago. Okay, just a second. Just a second. I need to find that first. Last summer. What's the question? Who was with my daughter? Just so I have the right incident or the right person. Was your daughter under 25?
I like when LA does these ones.
Yeah. I actually did one of those, and the client just left my house because she was freaked out. Is she still there? Sorry.
Yeah, it's probably delayed though, so just give it a second.
There's a delay with it.
So Tori,
There it is.
person,
Yes.
yes? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Now I have to get back to it. For me, I see a male. I would put him under the age more of under 30, I believe. Yeah, correct. Probably under 30. There's a haste to it, so I'm not sure what happened because we're a bit late on. Sorry, I'm a bit stressed for time here, but I'm sensing there's a haste in whatever's happening in terms of the situation. But I do see a male. I believe he's under his 30s. A jacket or something, not a t-shirt, but something over, maybe a t-shirt or something he was wearing. Sorry, for now, that's all I can see. It's clear to me, but to go in the amount of time that we have, I'd have to be a bit more specific. But there is that haste. Yeah, sorry. Was what? Boned on the highway?
Yeah, it's when a car is going straight, another one hits him in the side.
Oh, okay. Was it a hit and run? Is that what she's saying? First of all, my sympathies. I'm sorry for my manners here. I was just when I do this, it's like a crime scene. I'm actually there, so in that sensing, I just see haste. So,
does haste even mean?
I can understand now that it's probably what she was. Okay, sorry. I hope I was able to help her to some degree. I know we're over time a little bit here, but pulled out in front of her on the highway. Okay.
I think that
so that's probably the I'm sensing here.
I think she's also asking, like, was somebody who was with her from spirit, like who was protecting her at the time of the accident? I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what I was looking at. I was looking at who's beside her. I thought that was the question. Who was with her when she got when she was almost killed in a car accident? Yeah. So this is just the man that I sensed in terms of it was haste. So sorry. You can always inbox me or if you want to really know more and stuff like that. So I hope that helped. All right.
All right.
Did you want to do one more? I know we're a bit over time.
Yeah, there's one other one that I'm really, really drawn to. It's this one. Will my cousin find out who her father is? Her mom won't tell her. I get a yes, she will. It's not now. I do see it happening. I get a really strong criminal feeling around this father figure. So I think she's just, the mother's kind of ashamed. But I also want to say, in her mother's energy, I feel a little bit of a manipulative streak. So there's something that where she in kind of, there's an element to her that on some weird level almost likes the fact that she has a secret. I don't know that that's necessarily conscious, but I do see like a criminal vibe from this father figure. But yes, I feel like your cousin will know in the future. I get the number 5, so that's within 5 years. She will know who her father is. And you know what I'm being shown is that it will be fine for her to know. It really will.
I get 3 years, and I get that. I missed it. Jeez, where did it go? Oh, here. Yes, thank you. What I heard is she might be disappointed at first, but eventually that reconnection there, just knowing, will bring her to the next level in terms of her ability to evolve as a human being and later on. And she'll understand things more in terms of perspective, which maybe 2-3 years later will enable her to grow more as a woman. I'm not even sure if it's a woman, as a person later on.
All right.
Perfect. So thank you, everyone. I hope
last one. Randy Gallagher says Matt, pregnancy November at the latest is what I see. Around November is what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm done.
No. All right. So thank you again, everyone. As we talked about in our last shows, actually, when will it be the next show, guys? Again, Sundays? Or are we doing it from this point on Fridays?
No idea. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
My
schedule
is a little.
Well, keep looking. We're going to post it soon. It'll either be on this or the next one will be a surprise, which everybody can benefit through. Next time, also, if you want to help us find what the good stuff that we can talk about.
Just say the word. Do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I'll say shit if you say shit.
That's okay.
Shit.
Come on, LA, you can do it.
My good thing for this week, and I forgot to mention a while ago, is the hacker or the woman that was able to break into the server of Parler, which is like Twitter, and was actually able to download over 70 terabytes of information of all those extremists and people that coordinated that effort on Capitol Hill, which I thought, wow, that's just like a movie. And so that is what I thought was really cool. Again, thank you for watching. If you have any questions over time, you can always ask us during the week. If there's something you would like us to talk about in terms of current events, feel free to do so. leave us a message. If you want readings either by myself or Matthew, go right ahead. If you're looking for coaching, you can ask Ashley or I in terms of her Pivot Challenge, which is continuing this year, right? And our IYL It's Your Life courses. So once again, thank you. And any last words?
Merch
guys?
link in bio.
Sorry, there was somebody that we were gonna almost read for, and I feel bad that we said their name and then like skipped over it. I'm looking for the question to see if I can do it really, really, really
Who was
quick.
it?
Celeste. I'm
Who?
looking. Someone named Celeste.
Celeste Davis?
Yeah, I remember that we were about to
Oh,
read.
she said you were almost going to answer mine. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the question?
I'm looking for it because I just don't want to. I don't want to be one of those people. Ashley just disappeared. Shit, I can't find it.
Yeah, she's like me. She has to go.
Where is that question? Celeste, if you're
still there, Celeste,
Celeste, tell us the question again, but make it real quick. Because we have got to run. Ashley's already fallen off. I'm assuming she has to go drywall something immediately. Let's give her a second to post the question. Let's do swearing lessons. Celeste said it was about 15 minutes wage. Okay, so I remember it was whether or not it would be good or not.
Oh, actually got kicked off. She didn't actually leave.
Oh. Come back.
Will 15-minute wage help or hurt? I don't understand the question.
It was, will 15-minute wage help or hurt the economy? Because Biden is saying that he's going to try and make $15 be the minimum wage. I don't see it happening.
I don't see that at all. I'm like, I got this immediately.
Yeah, like I feel oh, Ashley's back. I feel like all of the intentions are there. I don't know that it will happen.
So Ashley, she wants to know, she's from the US, I believe, that the $15 minimum wage in the US.
That was the one I was bringing up.
Okay. So I get it. I get a no. I don't think
it's gonna happen. Or if it does, like it's. I just don't see that it will do a whole lot.
I don't think. Actually, I don't even think it's working here. Didn't they want that at one point in Ontario?
Yeah, they put up the minimum wage from $11.25 to $14, and then look, cost of housing skyrocketed, so people are literally in the same position.
So
yeah, no, that's not the way. Unfortunately, it's not the way to do it. I think. But that's a whole other show. Yeah. All right. Any last words before we run?
I used to believe in unicorns, and now I believe in minotaurs since I've seen them on Capitol Hill, actually, from the pictures that I saw.
You can do better than that.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Juggle, magic tricks, swear words, whatever you want. Swear words, whatever swear word you want is totally fine.
Yeah.
Fuck. You asked me the question last time. It's
not
swearing. I tricked you. I'm not swearing.
I think that's pretty.